Sai Ram. In the great epic, the Mahabharata, Yudhishthira, the eldest among the Pandavas, does the rajasuya yagna. He has been accepted as the emperor of the entire region, and all the kings are ready to accept his supremacy in exchange for his support and protection. At the end of this rajasuya yagna, the Pandavas decide to honor some important and key people. Unanimously, all of them decide that the first place must go to Lord Shri Krishna. But even as they announce this, one of the kings, the king of Chedi, Shishupala, gets up and starts shouting, "Why are you selecting Krishna for this? Is it because he is senior in age? Then why don't you pick his father, Vasudeva? Is it because he is a teacher? Then why not pick Drona, who is a better guru? Is it because he is a well-wisher? Then pick Drupada, your own father-in-law. If you want a sagely person, we have Veda Vyasa here, Bhishma here. Why are you picking Krishna? Krishna is a coward, he is a cowherd." And then Shishupala goes on hurling abuses and insults, so much so that all the Pandavas are pained. They have not selected Krishna for any of these reasons. They have picked Krishna because Krishna is their Lord. He is their Bhagawan. And here is Shishupala. Ironically, a family member. He is a cousin of Lord Shri Krishna. But he is jealous and he does not recognize the divinity of Krishna. Like they say, it is darkest right below the flame of the lamp that spreads light everywhere. And that is what happens. The family member himself isn't able to recognize the divinity of Krishna. He is jealous of Krishna and wants to demand the love, respect and reverence that Krishna commands. So he goes on hurling abuses. When this happens, Yudhishthira stands up, folds his hands and says, "Respected sir, kindly calm down. Krishna here is respected and revered and loved by so many in the assembly. It is not right that you speak like this of him." At the other end of the spectrum, the youngest brothers, Sahadeva and Nakula, they get up there enraged. They say that anybody who speaks like this dirtily about Krishna, they deserve to get smashed. We will slap them and trample them under our feet. Indirectly, they shout at Shishupala. Arjuna sets out to get his Gandiva and arrows. He possibly wants to shoot and finish off Shishupala. And Bhima doesn't even wait for his weapons. He gets up, he just wants to go and tear the chest open possibly of Shishupala. He gets up and he's going towards Shishupala while others come and restrain him. Dear brothers and sisters, when our beloved Swami, our Guru, our dear Lord is criticized by fools, by ignorant people who do not understand his divinity, I think our reactions too lie somewhere in this spectrum of the Pandava brothers. But what is very interesting is what Swami says about Krishna's own reaction to this criticism, to this barrage of insults. There is also the beautiful story and life experience of Professor M. Nanjundaiah, the former controller of examinations for the Sri Sathya Sai University, which gives us precisely what we must do when we find people unfairly and unjustly and wrongly and ignorantly criticizing our beloved Swami, our beloved Guru. It was sometime in 1970 when Nanjundaiah sir enrolled in the Sri Sathya Sai Arts and Science College at Bangalore as a lecturer in the Department of Commerce. A few years later, in 1974 and 1975, there was a barrage of criticism and unjust condemnation and insult that was done to Bhagawan through various media outlets, mainly the newspapers. This caused a lot of pain in the hearts of many devotees. Well, one of those critics at that time was Mr. Karanjia, Rassi Karanjia, and his story is phenomenal, and it's amazing how he came, he saw, but he was conquered by Swami. Well, that story is presented in this link above in case you have missed it. But coming back to the point, a lot of devotees, including Professor Nanjundaiah, were pained by this. And so one day, the professor wrote a letter to Swami. The synopsis of that letter was this. He said, Swami, you are all powerful. Your will is supreme. Therefore, I pray to you that you should will that such vicious people, such ignorant people, people who have such terrible intentions, should not be able to speak about you, write about you at all. Because it's causing so much pain to all of us. They should not be able to speak out only. They should not be able to write only, because without your will, how can they do it? He wrote this letter, and one day during darshan in Vrindavan, he offered it to Swami. Swami accepted it as well. A few days later, Swami was going out for doing something, and he had summoned his car. He also called Professor Nanjundaiah to accompany him in the car. And in the car, Swami asked him, what is it that you are writing in your letter? Then he said, Swami, these people are so wicked, so terrible, so ignorant and so vile. How they write terrible things about you without knowing anything, Swami? They should not be allowed to think such thoughts. They should not be allowed to write such thoughts, speak such thoughts. They should not be allowed to communicate at all. I want you to will like that, Swami. All his pain and anger was just pouring forth. And then Swami made his eyes wide and Swami said, hey, you should not pray like this. You should not pray like this. Swami said, I receive praises, I receive criticism, but I shower my grace and blessings on all. I have given everyone the freedom of choice. They can do what they want with that choice. They can choose to praise and worship, or they can choose to criticize and condemn. You are nobody to pray that that choice be taken away. However, remember, depending on how you use your choice, you will have to face consequences. So you cannot pray that somebody else's choice be taken away. This was the advice that Swami gave Professor Nanjundaiah in a very firm and stern tone. Then, buckling under that, the professor said, Swami, then please, Swami, I don't want such things to ever fall in my ears or come to my notice. I don't want, Swami. It simply causes me pain. Now Swami smiled and said, that you can pray. That you can pray for. You can pray that such things never fall on your ears or come to your notice. And that was how this episode concluded. And ever since I heard this from Nanjundaiah sir, I have kept praying this. I have kept praying that Swami, anything that people write junk about you, nonsense about you or speak, I don't want to come across it at all. My life has become so beautiful after that. Because as Swami says, as we sow, so shall we reap. We have the freedom. But if we misuse that freedom and do nonsense, we will face such consequences as well. It is not as if God is vengeful. It is a law of karma. When I throw a ball at a wall and the ball comes back to me, it is not that God is deciding or anything like that. It's an action and reaction. That's how it is. I'm reminded of a rationalist who hurt many people's sentiments and feelings by proclaiming that God is not there. And not only did he stop at that, if he had stopped at that, it would be fine. Went on to urinate on some of the idols and pictures saying that there's no God. Incidentally, this person faced a terrible death because of kidney failure. The person who urinated on gods could not urinate at all, and his death came about that way. It is not like God is vengeful. As you sow, so shall you reap. So why bother about such things? We need not pray anything negative for such people who cause distress and pain to us by criticizing and condemning our dear Lord and Guru. We can just pray to Swami that such people don't come in our ambit, such things don't come to us. It will not. Because Swami showers his love and grace on everybody. There have been people who have criticized Swami so much and they have come and received so much love from him. There have also been people who have received so much love from Swami and disappointed with something, they've gone and started criticizing him as well. Irrespective of what they do, Swami showers love. As it is seen in the way Krishna, you remember that's what we started at, Krishna. What was Krishna's response to Shishupala's criticism? Krishna sat there just smiling. The Lord is smiling because the Lord knows the past, the present and the future. See, when Shishupala was born, he was born with 3 eyes and 4 limbs, and instead of crying, he was braying like a donkey. That is how the Mahabharata records Shishupala's birth. The parents got so scared and they decided that they will just kill the baby because it seemed so inauspicious. But then there is a divine voice that says, you will not be able to kill this child because the one who is supposed to kill this child is already taken birth. Then the mother asks, who is that? The voice replies that in whose arms the extra appendages and eyes fall off, that is the person who will destroy your child. And when the baby is born, when everyone is invited, when Shri Krishna, Lord Krishna picks up the baby, the extra appendages and eye fall off. And the mother knows that, oh, Krishna is going to kill my son. So she goes to Krishna and prays and says, Krishna, promise me that even if my son angers you to the level that you want to kill him, you will not kill him. And Krishna says, I promise you that. And not just once, 100 times, if he insults and angers me to the point of wanting to kill him, I shall not. 100 lapses I will forgive. And so here, Krishna is smiling while counting the lapses because this is just karma. Now, Shishupala also knows that 100 insults, 100 terrible insults he can throw at Krishna and Krishna won't do anything. And using that knowledge, he is continuing to shower that barrage on Krishna. And Krishna is just smiling, smiling. This is how Swami narrates the incident in his discourse. And when he reaches the 100th insult, Shishupala decides that now I'll be quiet because after this, Shri Krishna can do anything. His promise is only up to 100 insults. But the Lord, if you think you can outsmart God, I think you're being foolish. Because Krishna says, okay, now that he has finished, let's move on and proceed. It was just a small inconvenience. Now Shishupala's ego is hurt and he restarts his barrage. And at this point in time, Swami says that Krishna picks up one of the plates, copper plates that was there and hurls it at Shishupala. It becomes the Sudarshana Chakra. We think that Krishna's weapon is the chakra and it comes when he wills it on his finger. Nothing like that. It is that power, it is the divine power, and the plate becomes the Sudarshana Chakra. He throws the plate and the plate goes and severs, cuts off Shishupala's head. Now is the most important part. As the whole assembly is stunned with this turn of events, Krishna walks up to the body of Shishupala and bows and salutes. And even as he does that, the soul from Shishupala rises. They see a light coming out and it merges into Krishna. Krishna grants merger to even Shishupala. That is probably why Swami tells Nanjundaiah sir that I shower my blessings on the lovers and critics alike. The Lord is beyond all this. He knows the past, present and future. He knows what has happened, because of which what is happening, and because of which what will happen as well. In conclusion, dear brothers and sisters, when we face such critics, let us keep our calm. Let us think of that as a test of our faith, of our Shraddha and Saburi. Let us love Swami more and more with each passing moment. And let us request Swami that such people, such words, such thoughts never come in our ambit. And let us be at peace knowing that there is one universal law of karma that nobody can escape. Let us live and let us love. Let us enjoy this divine love with Swami. May our love for him keep growing every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.